Well, this is going to be short, and I was just thought that I would share with you the protein bar that I like to eat. There's all different kinds of protein bars, and so usually when I get up in the morning, I don't have time, to go and make a whole meal and everything like that. You don't usually want to eat a ton, but it's always good to eat something in the morning and to have it be mostly protein. So this company, Power Crunch, they make some really nice protein bars. Hey, Mike, nice to see you, my man. They make some good protein bars, and I have been enjoying this particular brand. They've got it in vanilla, chocolate, and peanut butter. I haven't seen any other flavors, but the vanilla and the chocolate are good. So, hey, Suleiman, nice to see you. I'm just doing a little one, sharing with you guys my favorite protein bar that I eat. It's called Power Crunch. And it's really yummy, and it has a good ratio of protein. So that's uh that's something fun for you guys if you want something good to eat. Hey, man. Mm. So Suleiman and Mike, do you guys have any questions for me today? I actually didn't come with a whole big thing prepared. So I would love to hear if you have any questions or thoughts, and I'd love to chat with you about it. Suleiman says, I'm hungry. Yes, me too, because I haven't eaten my protein bar yet because I was up late last night. So I'm just having my tea at first. Mm. Yeah, but usually I have this in the morning with like my supplements, whatever I'm taking, my vitamins, vitamin D, C, my um, you know, CoQ10. There's just a bunch of different vitamins that sort of a vitamin selection that I have. For men, it's very important that you guys take zinc. So, just add that. If you don't already take it, add that to your regime. Mike says, what can we do to fight the insanity? What can we do to fight the insanity? You know, that is a really good question. Um, to some extent, I think it's about spreading good ideas. Hey, Anna says she's from Brazil. How are you? How do we spread these ideas wider, right? We can't fight. We oftentimes, do you know how the certain martial arts work, where you instead of just trying to put up a boundary and just like stop and like take all the impact and the force, instead you use the other opponents, you flow with it and use the other opponents weight and force against them and let that flow, right? So to be more in flow, I think, and to spread good ideas, to share, um, yeah, just share those ideas with other people as much as possible, because it's really only individuals. It's not groups, it's individuals. Individuals make the change, right? Individuals that stand up for things, individuals that share their beliefs, individuals that are convinced. It's not groups that are convinced, it's individuals. So okay, the more we share the truth with individuals, and the more that they are allowed to see that, um, then that creates a, how do you say, that creates momentum. That creates momentum. But to and hopefully getting to the right individuals who have the power to do something, getting to people who have voices, who are influencers, or to people who are in roles of government where they can do something. There are people, who file lawsuits to try to bring out the truth of things that are going on. So it's there's many ways to get it out there. So I think that the key is, even despite seemingly overwhelming odds, to keep going. Right? There's a lot of people in history who they the whole system, the whole world was against them, and they kept going, and they didn't give up, and eventually they were able to create the change that they dreamed of. So, right, that Martin Luther King and many other people like that. Mike says, Leonard Skinnerd, I'm in Sweet Home, Alabama right now. Nice. Hi, Elena. Good to see you. What have you been up to? Sweet Home, Alabama. What are you doing there, Mike? Hey, Elena. Let me know what you're up to, girl. I haven't heard from you in a while. How have things been? Are you doing your coaching program? So what's great is, that I love to do, that I love that other people can do is to share content, share information. If you get news articles, if you get like scientific papers and stuff like that, to share it, right? That's what I do now. I share information, share this, this is something good that I like to eat. And it can be helpful. So, and I know, Mike, you're amazing at that. You're great at sharing information. And perhaps there's a way we can share it even more effectively. I know that a lot of times I'm just like, I'll forward an article to a few people that I can think of. But hey, maybe Mike, this might be something for you, my friend, because I know you're really good at this, would be to have a website or something where as you share articles and videos and content and papers and stuff, you post links to all of those in one place so that you can send people there and be like, hey, check out all the links on this site, right? Instead of because a lot of times when we think there's may just be a couple people top of mind that we think to forward an article to, but there might be a lot of other people in our circle who would be interested in it, but they don't necessarily want to be getting dozens of texts and emails and stuff. So that might be an idea, would be to kind of collect them in a location and then just be able to send people to that location and update it as people send you new stuff. But have it be more curated that way with stuff that is, like this is the science on it, this is the articles about sort of the political backing or background of it, and just let people go and read it for themselves. So that might be an idea, Mike, for you to help stop it. Okay, Mike says he's visiting parents and doing some caregiving. Good for you. Good for you. Well, I'm glad you're getting the chance to spend some time with your parents. That's always important to do. I got to see my mom recently, which was really nice. She came over for an event with OMG, and so I got to visit with her, and I hadn't seen her, I guess, in over a year with COVID and everything, and she had moved to Europe, so it was quite difficult to get back and forth. But she managed to make it over, so that was good. It was good to see her. But anyway, if anybody else has any other questions, I'd love to chat with you. Otherwise, I'll let you go hang out for your Saturday. Let me know, Mike, if you decide to do that, and I'll start forwarding you information that I see that comes across my desk. And maybe just make a website with just links. Doesn't have to be anything fancy or pretty. It can just be links and just be like, this is, different papers that people have written, different documentaries, stuff like that people could go to. Because sometimes people send me stuff, and the problem with a lot of what gets sent around, right, is that it's not all of it necessarily that credible. Some of the stuff is really credible and other things are not so credible. So, when you go and you look it up, it's, you're like, oh, okay, well, the article or this person, or they made this TikTok video or whatever, and it says this, but when I go to the site and I read it, it doesn't say what they said it said, right? So you have to be careful of stuff like that, and be careful of sharing stuff like that, because that can undermine the credibility of what you're saying, even if what the person is saying in that little video, who knows if it's true on the overall, right? But if it's something like, where it's, a doctor, a scientist, or someone who is speaking or writing about it, or, even in the news media today, we have a lot of news articles that are I guess, that can be validated. It can show both sides of what's happening. So Epic News is actually a interesting place. That's a good place to go to get articles and see a little bit more of what's going on around the country. That is not getting as much notice. So yeah. So anyway, just it might be interesting to have a place like that where there's articles and stuff that have kind of been checked a little bit, uh, or at least videos on it to make sure that they're actually like, this is the video, this is what the person really said. And the of course, what I've noticed is that, like, when I get, videos about a doctor or a scientist or like a Nobel Prize winner who's talking about stuff and I send it out to people, then there's always going to be a way in which, there's a rebuttal, like, well, this person, usually it's an ad hominem attack on the person, right? That they attack on their sort of career, their credibility, or, oh, well, they're just doing this to sell a product, or, something like that, right? There's oftentimes an attack on that. Um, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever else you may think is going on, you don't have to like the person. You don't have to be annoyed that they're trying to sell a product. Like, are they a qualified scientist in their field? And is this like generally the scientific explanation for what's going on? You know? And it's kind of annoying that I have to keep asking that and be like, hey, let's focus on the issue. Let's try not to go off and be like, well, this person, that person, right? Because anybody can create an ad hominem attack. An ad hominem attack is when you're attacking somebody for um, a personality trait or for themselves, right? Or when you're making it like it's about like it's a cult or a movement or a this or a that, instead of actually looking at the argument and the reasoning and the data or the facts, right? So we have to be careful of that in society all the time. Just take the opposite of what the students say. Well, no, we can't just take the opposite, because that's not going to be very hopeful to actually understanding what's for people who are on the fence or who don't understand what's going on. So anyway, if you decide to do that, Mike, if you decide to create a website with those kind of links, then I'll make sure to forward stuff to you, because I often find that sometimes I watch something and it's really interesting, or I get an interesting article, but then I can't find it later. And it's not necessarily they got taken down, but maybe I can't find the link or something, right? It gets lost in the long streams of text messages. I don't remember what app it was sent to me on and who sent it or anything like that. So it would be cool to have a depository for this kind of information. Just make sure you have it on your own server. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Today was just kind of hanging out a little bit and chatting. So hope you guys have fun. Have a fun Saturday. Chill out, relax, or do some work, whichever you're gonna do. Cheers, Mike. Bye.